One of the things to remember about the Aedes mosquito is that it transmits more than one disease. So it transmits chikungunya, dengue fever, yellow fever as well. And so when it comes to controlling these mosquitoes, there is a potential that we could have an impact on more than one disease. When people do research studies, quite often that research study is very focused. It's a dengue study or it's a chikungunya study. And quite often the endpoints or the outcomes of that study are focused as well on those diseases. And quite often it's easy to forget the wider impact of a control intervention. Even malaria mosquitoes in parts of the world, for example in Southeast Asia or in South America, transmit malaria potentially during the day and outdoors. So control methods that we use for Aedes mosquitoes may even have an impact on malaria as well. So this is important when designing control programs and also research studies as well, looking at the impact of vector control technologies to consider the wider implications of the control interventions on other diseases, not just Zika, but other diseases including dengue, chikungunya, and even malaria.
The story of Zika has a bigger message. We have to remember that Zika's coming on top of dengue. It's been around a long time. And after dengue, there was chikungunya, sweeping through the Caribbean, now sweeping through Latin America. Another virus like Zika, which we underestimated because its effects are generally non-fatal. But actually they turned out to be much more serious than we anticipated. They don't kill, but these are very bad sequelae. And what they have in common, of course, is Aedes aegypti. Aedes aegypti started in East Africa, spread throughout the world in the 18th and 19th centuries, now being followed in the same way by Aedes albopictus from the Far East, Korea, China, also now spreading throughout the world, and we've kind of let them go. But what we should remember is that after dengue and chikungunya and Zika, there's a whole list of other viruses waiting to come. And they probably will come. So sooner or later we're going to have to take this mosquito seriously. And with things like Zika, it emphasizes the idea that maybe we should be thinking a little more seriously again of the eradication measures. Otherwise, we're going to be doing this source reduction effort, suppressing it but not getting rid of it forever and ever and ever. And yeah, even when Latin America looks like Shanghai from ocean to ocean, built over, everything else will be gone. There'll be no other mosquitoes, but Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus will be there and happy. Those mosquitoes will be there and transmitting virus until we aim at the mosquito, not just the viruses they transmit. The point's illustrated, I think, by yellow fever as an example. Yellow fever, one of the first viruses we knew because it's very fatal to people. Not many survive getting yellow fever. We don't worry about it much in developed countries because there's a good vaccine, lifelong protection from a good vaccine. But we don't use much of that vaccine. There are stocks, but they're not large. So the question we always ask, it's a question for medical entomology students, why has yellow fever never reached Asia? And okay, some people think it might be because there's some secret barrier. The mosquitoes there are somehow less able to carry that particular virus. But as far as we can see, there's no justification for that. They look like the same mosquitoes. And certainly if you feed them on the virus, they get the virus. So probably most entomologists would say it's waiting to happen. What's going to happen? It's going to be really bad. And are we ready? We are certainly not. No one is taking that possibility seriously. It's not planned for. So another reason to focus on the mosquito.